Do you remember when you really felt like you had dialed in that element of what you do? Because I remember the first time I ever saw you in concert was probably in 08. 07 or 08.
Yeah.
It was on the Bone Cottonmouth King shit.
Ah.
Or was it, no, was it Bone ICP, Cottonmouth Kings?
That was
Tech
03.
Nine?
That was 03.
Damn,
That was the Wicked Wonka tour.
Yes. So I saw you then.
Yeah.
And that was super early. But I think the first time I saw you like headlining some shit was probably like 07, 08.
Yeah. After
But,
Everready, yeah. Everready's 06. So,
But
yeah.
so much like there's so much to your live show. It has evolved over the years, over and over. But do you remember kind of like you gained fans just because they saw you and they were like, "Yo, this is crazy. I gotta go to the music." Like, when did you have that dialed in like all the way? You feel like
Me, Cut, Grant, and Chris, and Travis, we would rent out a ballet conservatory or something, and we would go over steps for Angelic. You know what I'm saying? Before we went on tour, I knew back then, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That we was locked in and we was doing stuff that people wasn't doing on stage. I knew back then that us as a team in uniform, not just in plain clothes, signifies togetherness. So that's saying like, okay, if he's dressed like him, that means if I fuck with him, I gotta fuck with him. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I learned that from soldiers, you know what I'm saying? So I knew back then, early on, that we were locked in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Who got this motherfucking house so locked? Einstein. If you got scratched, get the fuck, you know, the little dance we do, you know what I'm saying? I still do it to this day, you know what I mean?
For sure.
So it's like, I knew at the beginning when we were doing it, the steps, that is, that we were doing something that we had never seen. Because I started dancing before hip hop, you know what I'm saying? I was like MC Hammer style, you know, I was a b-boy, break dancing, pop locking, you know what I'm saying? All that. So I brought that to Tech N9ne, you know what I mean? And throughout the years, if it's something we didn't rehearse at the Ballet Conservatory, if I started doing a step that was extra, they would join in. Or if Chris started doing a step that was extra, we'd do it. Or if Cut said, man, I'm going to do the B-walk on this, I'd join in, you know what I'm saying, and do it with him, you know? So we would add stuff throughout the years, you know what I mean? So it's just a magical thing. So now, before, okay, I'm going to talk about this. 2020, COVID hits.
Correct.
Krizz Kaliko say, you know, we got a Jelly Roll tour on the horizon. You know what I'm saying? And
that's what Jelly Roll was with Strange.
Yeah.
Distro
You know what I'm
side.
saying? He had signed to our distribution.
Was that around the time
up.
you guys did the Red Rocks and there was like the big? I think Chris came out at Red Rocks.
That was like 2019.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So that was the last hurrah.
Yeah, that was the last hurrah.
Because Chris was talking about leaving then, and then he came out like boom, and the fans were like, "Holy shit, he's staying!" He said he's gonna. Yeah. He said he's gonna do some more years with us. You know what I'm saying? Because he was thinking about going on and doing his own label, this, that, and other. You know what I'm saying? So he came out of Red Rocks 2019.
Yep.
Boom, 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 boom. It was a big thing, you know. And 2020 came, and then that tour got canceled. The Jelly Roll tour with Tech N9ne, you know. And before we went on it, Krizz Kaliko say, yo, Tech, I can't go for this price no more. You know what I'm saying? I got to have more if I'm going to go. And I said, let me see what I can do. So I said, you know, I called into Travis. I'm like, if we can get him 2 more hundred, I think he'll be good. You know what I mean? It'll put him at a, you know, nice place, you know. And Travis like, Tech, because the tour got canceled, and now we were trying to go on tour after that. We're getting reductions, you know what I'm saying? Because people don't know. The price
is going down because they don't know what's going to happen.
They don't know if people are going to come.
Yeah.
So that's what the promoters were using against us. Like, we don't know what y'all going to do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So paying somebody extra money when we're getting reductions would be like
counterproductive.
Counterproductive is shooting ourselves in the foot. So Trav, like at this point, I wouldn't do this, but I would ask Chris if we can reduce his pay. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to do that. Right. I know he's not going to do that. You know what I mean? So I had to call Chris and say that to him. He's like, I can't go there, Tech. And I'm like, damn. I was like, okay. I was like, maybe this last one. You know, I'm trying to keep him held on. Maybe just this last one. You know what I'm saying? He's like, nah, man, I gotta, you know, and you know, during COVID, you know, you have to find ways to take care of your family. And he
Yeah.
found ways, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And they let him see that he could do his own. So when he came to me and said, I want to leave, but I want to let the fans know that we're still connected. It ain't bad blood or nothing, because it's not. You know what I'm
Right, of
saying?
course.
So we created this live stream. We were doing live streams during.
Yeah, you guys were doing like the concert shit.
Yes.
On, yeah.
Because we couldn't tour.
Yeah, yeah.
So we were doing live streams. We can, you know, we gonna always survive strange
Right.
music. We're gonna find a way. You know what I mean? So Krizz said, let's do a farewell one for me. You know what I'm saying? And introduce my new label, Earhouse.
Yeah.
And we did that. You know what I mean? So I'm happy doing this for Krizz. But on the inside, I ain't never said this. On the inside, I'm like, damn, I need my brother, man.
Right.
Up there, man.
Yeah,
I'm like,
you guys are.
because I had to think back to where when I started, I was by myself, but not really. When I got with Travis, I brought Grant and Cut, and Krizz came in last. You know what I'm saying?
No, for sure. I mean, your guys' dynamic on stage
I got
is.
some water in this motherfucker.
Yeah, we grab a bottle.
Yeah.
No, but your guys' dynamic on stage is it's historical.
Yeah. So with me remembering that I came in with 4 motherfuckers.
Right.
Thank you. I was kind of leery about what I would do by myself. I ain't never said that because I'm a king. I can do
Right, for
whatever.
sure.
You know what I'm saying? So in my heart, I'm like, man, what am I gonna do without my backup? But once I start rehearsing by myself, I'm like, damn, I got all this wind myself. You know what I'm saying? I've always done breathing exercises throughout my career that will allow me say a whole 4 bars without breathing. You know what I'm saying? So that's what they say. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For a whole 4 bars. So I had to remember that. And when I did my first show by myself and I rocked it, that gave me the confidence because I was worried.
Yeah, I didn't know.
didn't have
I didn't
Krizz
know what to
anymore.
expect.
Yeah, nobody did. It's
Yeah.
like, it's not the same without Krizz. I'm like, no, it's not the same, but it's fucking.
The way you guys
Crazy.
had those LED walls and shit, and the way that like the whole like you doing the outfit changes, it also probably gave you time to breathe a little, you know, reset.
It did. Chris being there, Chris and Cut, them being there gave me a lot of breathing time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't have that no more. So now I say I'm getting my DMX on. You know what I'm saying? Resting. May God rest his soul.
Yeah.
I'm getting my Kendrick on. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting my Jay-Z on. You know what I'm saying? So I realized after the first couple of shows that I got this shit. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I would love for Krizz to return, but I got it. You know.